So welcome to the fifth and final round of the Club 100 Junior Northern Championships. This one's coming from Warden. This track's also known as Karting North East. It's just up in Sunderland. We stayed just a few miles down the road in a nice town called Seaham, which is right on the coast. There was a storm blowing over, so we got to see some absolutely massive waves coming in. That was a brilliant experience. And I will say that this journey that you've seen on our channel throughout the year, karting through Club 100 series, it's more than just what we do on track and race day. This is fantastic father-son bonding time. We get to spend weekends away, stopping in different hotels, experiencing different towns and cities. So it's been an absolutely brilliant journey and something that we're looking forward to in 2026. So for 2026 we've applied for not just the Northern but also the Southern Championships. As I'm editing, I'm currently waiting on a reply from Club 100 to say if we've achieved that or not. Fingers crossed, and we believe we're possibly number one on the list to get the email sent back to them. So going forwards for this round, again, it's a slow start from Oscar in the practice session. We fully expect that, considering he's got no track experience. So obviously we're not expecting to go out there and to be absolutely flying. But as per the previous rounds, anybody who's been following us, you'll see Oscar picks up throughout the day. He learns the track pretty quickly, so he starts to move up the grid. So we're going out practice, quali, there'll be a pre-final and a final, the usual Club 100 format.
Good morning to George Glossop, good morning to Noz as well. A few of the chats from earlier on have disappeared. Oscar Mallet, I knew someone was freezing up here and it was Oscar Mallet. Good luck to Oscar out there today. Hello to Susan, cheering on Alex Rattan. Alex going for potential championship glory here today. Paul Rattan as well.
I don't think I need to put this timesheet up. I'll show you anyway. I think it's pretty obvious from what you've just seen there on screen that Oscar's not had a good start at all to this round. He came off track, he wasn't happy with the kart. We'll just be straight about it. He said it had no top speed and there was nothing he could do to stop people just driving past him. And that yellow light on the last lap, we think that's what stopped him from getting off the bottom of the grid. So a bad one, bad practice session. Not that it means too much because it's about to rain. And if we look at the other group anyway, who also raced in the dry, Group B, you'll see on screen now that there are 3 people there at the bottom of their group that actually finished slower with slower times than Oscar. So it's not too bad. And Benjamin Hamilton, who topped Group B, again only 4 seconds ahead of Oscar. So I think 4 seconds is the smallest gap he's had to make up in all of the Northern rounds this season.
Good morning everyone, welcome to round 5 of the Club 100 Cadet and Junior North Championship here at Warden Law today for some great racing action to round out what has been a thoroughly enjoyable season. I am Rd5 Taylor, joined in the comms box by Mr. Andrew Mather. Great to be alongside you once again, Andrew. For, as I say, yeah, what should be a really fun day's worth of racing here.
A fun day, a chilly day today here at Karting Northeast. Welcome to Warden Law. Great circuit this. Actually the first time that we've brought broadcast Club 100 action for the cadets and juniors here up in the Northeast. 1200 metre circuit, 12 turns, 5 feet in elevation. Here is your forecast. It's an interesting one. It's dry at the circuit at the moment, very chilly. A little bit of wind blowing in off the sea, but look at that rain. That rain could be hitting us as we get into racing later on this afternoon.
Well, we're just going out for quali, and I got a feeling we got the same kart again because this fitting is exceptionally loose. Let's hope not. Same as the first race. Well, I'm glad to report that this isn't the same kart that Oscar had in the practice session, but between the practice session and the qualifying sessions beginning, there was an off-track situation which required the paramedics. So until the ambulance, the paramedics could return to the track, the racing couldn't start again. This was a 40 minutes delay, and in that 40 minutes it started raining. So we're now going out for the qualifying round in the wet. It stopped raining, but the track is slippery and greasy. So everything that Oscar's just done in the practice session goes out the window, and of course the goal is to reach the A final, but we know that that's almost out of reach considering Oscar's only got, what, 11 minutes of track experience in the dry. So we'll see how he does. Getting off the bottom of the grid is a step forwards, so let's see. Now the usual way I edit the qualifying session is to run an overlay showing the live timing on top of the screen so you can see throughout the session where Oscar's positioning is. But like a wally, I went out and started filming this session without thinking. So I'll run the video on top of this so you can at least see where Oscar is on track as normal. And I'm just going to have to put the positioning in at the end for where he finished. But as a bit of a Brucey bonus, I'm giving away my age a bit there. Alpha Live were filming this live onto YouTube throughout the day, so I'm going to steal some clips from there and integrate them into this video session for you.
So next out on circuit, the junior super lightweights, their first group, and again the rain really coming in now. This is a tough set of conditions for everybody about to head out onto track. Quick reminder of how things stand in the championship. Logan McAllister, by our calculations, has got this one won already, Reeve. 1,011 points already secured. So Ellis McKenzie second, 982. Thomas Welsford third, 947. Tom Justice nicely scoring at the moment, 939. And Jack Bromham as well, 911. yes, it sounds like the gaps between all those four are quite wide, but if they have strong days, it's quite possible that those scores will converge. The battle for the top 3 spots, the top 5 spots as well, of Krieging's scrap here. There is Logan McAllister in the red helmet. Just saw him out on circuit, so good to see that Logan is here today. Sometimes when you see a driver secure a championship early, they go, I'm not going to do the last round. Logan did have a very good excuse, I want to say 2 years ago, when he won one of the cadet titles. He was at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
That's a good excuse.
That's a good excuse, but yes, there is Formula 1 today. It's a little bit further away than Abu Dhabi from Europe. So yeah, Logan has decided, yes, he will race with us today, as opposed to join George Russell in the stands.
Well, it's the most exciting racing action on the cards for today here at Warden Law, so I can understand why those conditions looking pretty torrid out there now, it must be said. Worst conditions that anyone's had to qualify in so far this morning.
Absolutely. But this is what sometimes can happen. Oh dear, as the number 53 has gone round. That is on the run through the back chicane. That was Clara Boyce. Again, going to have a spin, get it done earlier on in the session, find those limits. We had some BUKC testing last week at Wilton Mill. I always remember that grandpa's story. You know how social media likes to remind you of things, or like, oh, you did this so many years ago. Dagger to the heart yesterday. A certain social media network reminded me it was 12 years since my first run in a Club 100 kart at Llandau, birthplace of champions. There you go, Henry, for that one. Yeah, so we've got drivers here today who weren't born when I first drove a Club 100 kart in the wet, in South Wales, spinning off all over the place because the team told me, if you don't spin today, you're not pushing the limits and you're not finding what you can do. So get it done nice and early in the early parts of the session where it doesn't really matter. And then go quicker later on. I
like that. That's a good mindset to head into your first kind of foray into karting with.
They literally said if you don't spin today, you will not be selected for the team because you're not pushing hard enough.
Like it. Yeah, that's good. And I think that's what we're seeing. Some of these spins here, that's by no means, as I was chatting about earlier, that's no means a lack of skill or anything. Quite the opposite. It's drivers that are getting to grips with the track, pushing the limit, and drivers that are fiercely competitive and know that they're often in the mix for a championship fight or are having a great time out there, who are just treading and finding limits, and unfortunately that does result in the odd spin here or there, but these are professional young drivers. They now have to get it back out on track and they don't let it dent them, so it's great to see.
Yeah, 7 minutes of this session to go. We'll start getting the first lap times coming in a moment. Dan Griffin's the first driver over the line at 1:42.182. Thomas Welsford's had a good start in this one. One of those drivers running for a ticket to Belgium. 1:38.542. And there is Thomas Welsford in the black race helmet, kart number 64. Just slipping down the inside there of the number 61, Dan Griffin. But the lap time is coming in. Sam Bonnell's had a good start to this session. Could well be on for a solid top 10 finishing position in the championship with a good set of scores here today. At the moment, Bonnell's gone P2 in this session, Logan McAllister P3. Findlay Hanna, Findlay, one of the drivers from Bonnie, Scotland. A little spoiler for the pre-grid show, paddock show, that you'll be able to see later on during the lunch break. It was when Findlay and Tyler, his good friend from up in Scotland, said, oh yes, only 3.5 hours drive for us to get here today to Warden Law. Only 3.5 hours. It's like, tell the ladies and gentlemen how long some of your drives can be. So fair credit to the Scottish drivers. They have some big travel distances. We were whinging yesterday about the M6. The Scots pretty much have to do that every single time they come down to England or Wales for some racing. Oh dear, Caden Warden had a spin through Gasworks, and some of the drivers were maybe going a little bit too quick under yellows there.
Yeah, they are indeed. A couple more oversteer moments, but well caught by some of these drivers. Your fastest at the moment, as we mentioned, Thomas Welford, 138.4. Closely followed by Sam Burnell, 138.5 on the money, 1.38.500. But that has just been beaten by Logan McAllister there, as yellow flags do indeed wave, but that's 137.7 for Logan McAllister. That is a nice improvement as we now enter the second half of the session. This is usually the point in these wet sessions that we have seen the track come good comparatively, so we might start to see some decent times tumbling in now. But yeah, it's all just about keeping the nose clean at this point. It's those fortunate drivers who have kept consistent, kept the nose clean, who have been rewarded in these qualifying sessions. Logan McAllister putting in a good innings and doing his best to get towards that with a 137.7.
Absolutely. Keep your comments coming in. See the little chat about the SP40 racing that we had here yesterday. Congratulations to Tommy Lee. Sealed the championship yesterday. Actually, no, he sealed it before yesterday for being the first, the inaugural Club 100 Senior Lightweight SP40 North champion. Chris Powell, Premium Powell, had a good day as well to hold in second place. Jack Fisher third, James Britton and Johnny Wilson all in the top 5 and final standings of that one. And well done to Aidan Lynn as well, who held on after some very good days for Hassan Zafar and Hayden Harris. Did in the end take the heavyweight class yesterday by 8 points, and needed those points to be scored. 5th and 3rd yesterday was enough for Aidan Lynn to become champion in the heavyweight category. And we should mention as well, just before we get into the latter stages of this session, I'm going to turn away from the cadets and juniors for a moment, Reeve. That one of the big news stories as the calendars came out for Club 100 2026 is that the afternoons of Senior North days will not see the cadets and juniors have some extra practice. There will be a Sprints North Championship next year. We'll probably talk more in depth about that when we're having a seniors day down at Buckmore Park in a couple of weeks' time. But if that is news to your ears that you want to have a look at, do head over to the website and also the social medias. It'll be the same calendar as the cadet and junior Norths, so full weekends, the seniors on one day, the youngsters on the other day. But really excited to see how that pans out in 2026. That same calendar that we talked about earlier, so the season opener to be TBC, to be 100% TBC, but all being well, the North seasons will start at the brand new Silverstone kart track. Been down to Silverstone recently. I was there for the European Le Mans Series a few weeks ago. It looks really good, really top circuit. I think the racing is going to be producing some great racing. Producer in my ear said Silverstone famously in the north. I know. But see, at least it's not sending them all the way to Buckmore Park.
I was going to say, more in the north than Buckmore.
Someone did suggest on social media, I am calling them out now, I'm not going to say who their name was, they put why no Buckmore Park? It's like, are you for real? We're in the north. Buckmore Park is not in the north. Anyway, Silverstone to start off with, Wilton Mill for the second round, GYG in North Wales for round 3, Rowra for round 4, that's probably north, GYG again for round 5, PF International for round 6 in Lincolnshire, and then Warden Law back here to finish in September. So that's your North Championships schedule for next year. All the details across on the website. 1 minute to go. Logan McAllister, not a massive surprise in this one. Reeve, top of the order, clear by quarter of a second ahead of Thomas Welsford and Sam Burrell. All of them in the 136s to 137s.
Yeah, absolutely. We did have that late session track improvement, so to speak. Originally, Logan McAllister got that early 137 in. Now, Finley Hanna Sam Bernal have joined him in that as well in 137th, but Thomas Welsford and Logan McAllister into the 136s. It's actually pretty close, relatively speaking, between Logan McAllister and Thomas Welsford, so we'll see if anything can happen late on. Sam Bernal's heading around the final couple of corners now, as is Thomas Welsford and Logan McAllister. They're occupying Sector 3, so we'll see if those times do indeed change for the final couple of moments in this qualifying session.
Yeah, some really good performances coming in here. There's the number 61 on your screens of Dan Griffin. Dan needs a good time here, because I don't think Dan's going to get over the line before the checker flag comes out. Stays P11. Oh no, did just get over the line by probably about half a second. Harvey Preen goes P5. Dana Rohan up to P6. Adi Manu P7. All being well, these drivers should be through directly into the Pre-A final. Caden Ward, after that difficult start to the session, goes P9. Imogen Owen looks to be through. P7 for Imogen. Lewis Tracy sneaks in P10 there. So Dan Griffin at the moment is out if the relative positions method is used. Ollie Ward will not be through to the Pre-A final. Goes P13. We're on our screens at the moment with Sam Burnell, who's safe in terms of going through to that Pre-A final, but would like to be a little bit higher than 4th in this group. At the moment, that would set him just inside the top 10 for later on today. Findlay Hannah up to P3. There's the 113 behind. Oh, a bit deep. No, that's fine though. That's fine from Sam. Two wheels still inside track limits. Just the 113 there is Amy Gualtieri. Amy at the moment in 18th place. Session still going for McAllister, for Welsford, for Hannah, for Griffin. Again, Burnell.
So a P19 finish for Oscar in Group A. If we compare his times to the Group B session afterwards, he'll have also finished P19, which places 10 people behind him. So for the Pre-B final, Oscar will be starting in P17 of 27. This brings to an end our goal for this season of reaching an A final, unfortunately. We've came super close to it, especially at Wilton Mill, being just 0.2 seconds off making it. And we can really contribute that to not doing practice days, test sessions, etc. So each round Oscar's gone into with absolutely no track experience. And it's just usually an 11-minute practice session on the morning to try and learn the track and then hope to be in the top 50%. Where the top 50% have all had practice days, previous track history, a lot more experience in the karts, etc. than Oscar's had, considering this is his first season in not just Club 100 road tax karts, but also his first season of outdoor karting. So we've got no complaints. He hasn't made an A final. It's been a brilliant challenge to try and make that, and we feel that next season, with the experience that he's picked up this season, with added test days, that is what we're hoping to achieve, that Oscar should be a regular in the A final. And any B finals he gets in, the goal then will be to either qualify or make the top 3 on the podium and bring home some silverware. So we'll move on to the Pre-B final now. As I said, Oscar's starting P17 and he's about to shoot himself in the foot before he even crosses the start line. You'll see. Bloody freezing, absolutely bloody freezing. P19, they're not too bad. 24 or 25, I think it was 24 for this race. Jesus, you got took out, didn't you? Got it all on film. That's the thing, I was filming that one. I forgot to screen record the live timing. So I'll have to edit the video differently for that one. Well done, dude.
Here we go then. Junior Super Lightweight Pre-B finals are about to get underway. Drivers just heading out of the pits now. So let's see if we can take a look at who will be on the grid in just a moment. Here we see them heading out of the pit lane, getting ready to get underway. The front row of the grid then, it's Jamie Crampton, Nikolai Eisgard. Then we have Ruben Gardner and Ella Rowe on row 2. Lewis Tracy and William Harvey complete the third row of the grid. Then we are going to have Jonah Young and Dan Griffin on row 4, Ollie Ward and Kai Timmins on row 5, James McLaughlin and James Wall on row 6, Max Poole, Caden Graham on row 7, Clara Boyce and Amy Gualtieri on row 8, Oscar Mallet and Chris Yakimov completing the 9th row of the grid. Moving on to row 10, we have Paige Martin, Thomas Jackson, followed by Chris Clark and Noah Morris on row 11. Then we have Jolan Wilcoxon and Mason Watson on row 12. Then we have final couple of rows, Caitlin Steppenbach and Alfie High on row 13, and Jacob Rattray completing the 14th row of the grid with 27 karts starting this race.
Biggest field of the grid so far today. Biggest name on this grid from a championship perspective is probably Lewis Tracy, in the top 10 in the points on drop scores at the moment. Needs to go up from 5th place on the grid with once again only 2 spots available to transfer through into the Pre-A final. If you're enjoying the live broadcast, do make sure that you've hit that like button. Can we get it up to 100 likes before the end of this rotation, or by the next rotation? Keep those likes rolling in, and if you're new around here as well, do hit that subscribe button. Ready to go racing then. Looking good for a race start. Smiley face on the board. 11 minutes underway here at Warden Law. Good start for those on the pole side of the grid. It will be the number 17 of Jamie Crampton, who on speed had the pace to go through into the Pre-A final, but a penalty dropped him down 2 places.
Did you say that? No?
Penalties early stages, breaking formation penalties for the 82 of Chris Clark and the 84 of Oscar Mallett.
Yeah, Oscar's just sending it here down the inside between the 2 tram lines. A deserving 2-position penalty. I don't think he'll do that again.
As into the lead of the race for a moment was the number 18 of Ruben Gardner, but Nico Eidsgaard in the number 24 has now come through to lead this race. Oh, there's a spin for James Wall. James Wall in the number 31 has got to wait now for everybody else to file through. I think Thomas Jackson may have spun there in sympathy behind him. It might have been Mason Watson actually. In the number 131, penalties early stages, breaking formation penalties for the 82 of Chris Clark and the 84 of Oscar Mallett.
Here we go then, traversing our way through the first lap here. We're looking on to Ruben Gardner. Here is Jamie Crampton, started on pole, of course, trying to claw back what he can as we head through the back straight, through the chicane we go. As we say, a packed grid here. Things could get interesting as we run into Sector 3. We look on to the number 24 of Nikolai Eisgaard into Gasworks. We go all following through in succession, all going for that outside line. The only brief opportunity of grip on corner entry there. Looking like we all made it through. I think a couple go wide, but everyone are making it through. Towards the end of the lap we go then. We do have a couple of penalties coming in, as we say. Chris Clark, James McLaughlin on the penalty board so far in this race. Number 24, Nikolai Eisgaard, trying to put pressure on Ruben Gardner, who gets ready to start the next lap of this race from 3rd on the grid. Leads us on to lap 2.
Good stuff from our juniors here. Just see them trying to move to the middle of the circuit. Maybe a bit of a damp line in that part of the circuit. William Harvey had a bit of a catch there. 5th at the moment in the early stages of this race. So 9 minutes to go. Gardner and Eisgaard currently going through. Crampton, Rowe, Harvey need to move forward if they want to be on the grid for the Pre-A final. Lewis Tracy still running in 6th place. I think another penalty's just come in there if we've not mentioned it already. Apologies if we have. James McLaughlin, down 3 spots with that unsafe release, currently running in 23rd position. Here at the front of the order though, Eisgaard starting to put a bit of pressure on Gardner. Gardner trying to work with the driver of the number 24 right now, but sometimes you see this, don't you, Reeve, that a driver who is going through but is right on the edge, one mistake away from losing that position, they'll take them through to the next race. They just, almost for comfort, want a little bit of better track position to calm the nerves.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 minutes to go in this race. Then we are on board with Eisgaard, who has it all to play for here, as you say. Jamie Crampton, though, still could well do it. Obviously had a very good run in qualifying. Is not too far behind. It's only a few kart lengths behind as we see Eisgaard having a look down the inside. And that's because Gardner goes deep into the final corner. We are side by side, enjoying a bit of a drag race. And here we go. Is that Gardner suggesting that Eisgaard should go on through? I think it is. potentially because there was a tiny bit of contact between the two drivers heading into that final corner there. Iceguard then takes fastest lap, takes the race lead as well as we head into turn 1, nearly goes deep and runs off into turn 1, but does continue on in a race lead here. Conditions still looking very treacherous. Now Ruben Gardner might be feeling slightly more comfortable, knowing that they're still going to head on through, knowing that there's not any concerns with penalties, still in those rapid charge positions, and might even be able to learn a thing or two from Iceguard out in front.
Yeah, indeed. Next few laps are going to be crucial for all of them out there. This is the only category that was decided for the grids by absolute time. Bad conditions, terrible conditions, if anything, for both of the qualifying groups for junior super lightweights, but equally bad across the board for everybody. So that's why we did not see the relative positions method used for this particular group. Iceguard actually hasn't raced in the North category so far this season. We've seen Iceguard before in the Southern Championships. So we've not really got any reference data to how Nico is against this particular group. Ruben Gardner, on the other hand, has had a final appearances. Again, another one all the way back, I want to say, the late May bank holiday weekend at PF International for round number 2. It's been a while. There's Jamie Crampton, just ahead of Ella Rowe. This is the discussion for 3rd place right now. Crampton has been able to race through to the top tier races so far this season. Been pretty regular in making it through. Ella Rowe, meanwhile, again, hasn't been there. Has only been there once so far this season. Again, at PF International back in the early part of the summer.
Yeah, Rowe and Crampton trading blows at the moment, matching each other in terms of lap time. They're about just under a tenth separating those two drivers. Obviously, Crampton started on pole, had those issues on lap 1. Ella Rowe sitting comfortable in P4 where she started this race. But anything could happen yet. We've still got just around about half race distance at least, as we do see a driver enjoying some of the antics on the grass there. Not recommended on this tyre compound. It's not suited to rally antics, but
no, not quite today.
No.
So I think John Wilcoxon has gone through past Chris Clark in a change further down the order. Caden Graham, meanwhile, is also improving up to 12th place now. Has got past Emi Gualtieri and Oscar Mallet. There's your race leader, Nico Iceguard. I wouldn't say dominating this race, but comfortable at the moment with at least 1.7 second advantage, and is starting to turn a quicker pace as well. So track's still very wet out there, but at least we're not seeing rooster tails coming off the tyres anymore. That's Ella Rowe down the inside of a back marker, just getting track position ahead of Caitlin Steppenbeck in the 127. 4.5 minutes remaining. Iceguard checks over the shoulder. It's a 1:37.0 that time around. 7 tenths quicker than Ruben Gardner. The lead now 2.4 seconds.
it is indeed. I'm beginning to wonder if, because I could be completely wrong in reading what I read, but I think I did see Gardner saying, come on, let's just settle our differences, go on through.
We're both quicker than the pack behind.
If so, that is a really smart call by Ruben Gardner, because they've now got multiple seconds of clear air. They know they can push on through into the next session. Smart decision.
Well, yeah, exactly. In the pre-finals, I know when you get to the trophy finals, there is the hope of like, oh, I'm going to get a little trophy if I win the B final.
Yeah.
You don't get that at this stage. Oh, now, was that a problem for Crampton? Oh, Crampton went deep into St. John's Corner. Has just been able to hold on to 3rd place ahead of Ella Rowe, but Ella really starting to up the ante now and increase the pressure. This is the battle for 5th on your screens as well. William Harvey and Lewis Tracy. Fear for Lewis here. I think Lewis is going to be losing points in this stage, because remember, if you don't make it through to a pre-A final, those who do race later on this afternoon can then gain many a point through this part of the day, and then we go again for another round of point scoring races when we get to those trophy finals.
A little bit more raceable now. Ella Rowe is in a nice rhythm, I would say. Crampton just ahead
gets those trophy finals.
This track's just beginning to look a little bit more raceable now. Ella Rowe is in a nice rhythm, I would say. Crampton just ahead was clutching on by an absolute thread really to the track surface. Has managed to keep it pointing in the right direction. But yeah, Ella Rowe seems to be in a decent rhythm at the moment. track is looking to be a little bit happier, confirmed by some lap times seeing at the front end of the pack. We'll see what the likes of the number 97 plated car can do as we cross the line here, and we're comfortably that was a 141, but otherwise everyone else in the 39s, so a couple of seconds being shaved off compared to the start of the race.
Tracy through into 5th place ahead of William Harvey, but Harvey's going to fight back here through Brian's Bend towards the dogleg. Tricky corner in these conditions. Everybody trying to use that outside wider line and then get a good amount of curb over there through the dogleg. That's good work from Lewis Tracy. Back up to P5. 2 minutes of this race to go. A couple of penalties coming in. Another one, unfortunately, for James McLaughlin. Overtake under yellow. So that'll be more places lost for the driver than number 99. Jolan Wilcoxon as well. ABC takeout. That'll be a 6th place penalty at the end of this race. Meanwhile, still raging on here between William Harvey and Lewis Tracy. Lewis Tracy tried to get it stopped there, but he's going to lose 5th place once more to William Harvey. They did have a bit of a touch through Senna 2. 90 seconds remaining in this race. Ardsgaard and Gardner still out front here. Reeve and looking pretty comfortable now.
They are indeed. Played this race perfectly, did exactly what they needed to do and settled it early on. Can't ask for more than that if you're trying to repechage through, but this is a great little squabble going on between Harvey and Tracy here. It's interesting to see both drivers. It's the opposite thinking to what you usually expect. They're both having to go for that outside line. It's only a very brave driver who's trying to chuck a move down the inside, maybe to get the overtake done, but it's a very risky game indeed. As we head on to that start-finish straight once more, get ready to head round turn 1, having a look around the outside. It's going to be Tracy, poised potentially to have a little bit more grip on offer, and it works. Yeah, hang it round the outside, keep the pace up, and that's Tracy through and into 5th.
2 laps in a row that we've seen that from Lewis Tracy. He's clearly got the last corner sewn up. He's now just got to get the other 11 sorted to hold on to this 5th place spot. James McLaughlin has got up to 12th place on the road ahead of Amy Gualtieri. Again, Harvey having a look through St John's there over the little dip. Sometimes at higher speeds, you sometimes see carts taking a little bit of a almost jump through there. That's not happening today, of course, with the weather conditions. We enjoyed the KZ2s here in the British Championships earlier on in the year. Oh, as again, Gasworks for the race leader today is not a happy hunting ground. Nico Eidsgaard, well, you saw his eyes wide open there, heading into Gasworks. There were 2 back markers having a spin right on the last lap here, but no problems. Oh, Nico's got to be careful. That's another back marker. That's Mason Watson nearly getting in the way of the race leader here on the last lap. Nico Eidsgaard is going to hold on to a race victory. Will go through to the Pre-A final, but what's happened directly behind? Ruben Gardner has gone through. This is the leaders catching up to the race, to those a lap down. It's Thomas Jackson who's had a spin right at the end there. Jamie Crampton's gone through to 3rd. I wonder, was that Ruben Gardner thinking that was the race leader perhaps, or just very happy to get through to the Pre-A final?
Either way, I think both valid reactions.
Yeah.
But another eclectic finish there. Top effort from Nikolai Eidsgaard and Ruben Gardner there to make as comfortable of a race as possible out of a race that starts in these conditions. It was great as well to see the battle between Crampton and Rowe. Tracy and Harvey put on a show for us as well. And then you have Jonah Young, Dan Griffin, Caden Graham and James McLaughlin, your top 10 in this race. Then we have Chris Yakimov, Amy Gualtieri, James Wall, Kai Timmins, Max Poole, your top 15. Oscar Mallet, Paige Martin, Noah Morris, Ollie Ward and Clara Boyce, your top 20, followed by Joel Wilcoxon, Jacob Rattray, Mason Watson, Alfie High, Chris Clark, Thomas Jackson and Caitlin Steppenbach, your biggest grid we've had so far, bringing an end to their racing. A couple of lapped drivers and a few seconds down, but that's your order for the 27 car to bring an end to this junior super lightweight Pre-B final.
That was a difficult race. Filthy, wet, slippery, greasy conditions. Oscar started in P17. At the end of lap 2, he'd worked his way up to P12. He was onto a brilliant start. For the following 2 laps, middle of the race, he held his own. He lost just the 1 position. And then he lost 3 more positions over the final 3 laps to finish in P16 on track but unfortunately he got that 2-position penalty for breaking formation at the start of the race, so that places him in P18. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe this is the first race of the entire Club 100 season that Oscar has finished in a lower position than he started, and it's only because of the penalty. I'd need to go through all the data, but if anybody else off the top of their head has seen anything recently and can, prove that I'm wrong, please do. Right, this is the B final. Oscar starting P16. And this is essentially a £111 final plus the race fee. We've had to buy Oscar a new visor for this one, so that was 111 for one 15-minute race. We'll see how he does. He better win. So this is just a polite word of warning to anybody who's just getting into outdoor karting and only has a tinted visor on their helmet. Make sure that you get yourself a clear visor before the dark nights start to set in. I luckily had thought of this a couple of months earlier, but Club 100 only sent the email out, I believe it was 2 days before the event. If I hadn't pre-thought of the fact that I'd probably have to have a clear visor for Oscar for the final race, then I wouldn't have ordered the visor and we wouldn't have been able to compete in the final. So make sure you've got yourself a clear visor ready before the dark nights come in.
Back to the junior super lightweights then. Their B final is next here at Warden Law. A little bit of a headwind down the pit straight. Let's have a little bit of a chat then and look through the grid for this next race. Remember, it's 2 places to go through into the A final. This last of the B finals will start with Jamie Crampton on pole position, Ella Rowe alongside on the front row, Lewis Tracy and William Harvey on row 2, Jonah Young and Dan Griffin row 3, Caden Graham and Chris Yakimov on row 4. On row 5, Amy Gualtieri and James Wall, Kai Timmins and Max Poole on row 12, Paige Martin and Noah Morris on row 7, James McLaughlin and Oscar Ballot on row 8, Ollie Ward, Clara Boyce, Jacob Rattray and Mason Watson complete the top 20. It's then Alfie Hyde, Thomas Jackson, Caitlin Steppenbeck, Chris Clark and Jolan Wilkinson, 25 drivers in the field.
There we go then, there is your 25 drivers who will be getting ready to go racing once more. Our super lightweight B finalists are making their way down the tram lines for some more racing action. Crampton versus Rowe then, as we can see, Ella Rowe around the outside. Crampton will be defending on the inside. Bit of oversteer though for Crampton, who just about keeps it on the track, loses time though. Through goes Ella Rowe.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision...
Final, of course, the British Indoor Karting Championship. That'll be taking place in the next few weeks. May well see some of those drivers from the BIKC on this grid for 2026. Oh dear, spinner in the middle of the pack. There were two Lewis Hamilton helmets in very close proximity there, so we'll confirm on tiring which one of them it was going round in a moment.
And so there it is, Oscar's very first self-inflicted spin out of the entire Club 100 season. And he saved it for the last race, but not just for the last race. He saved it for the moment that he was probably most prominent on the Alpha live stream, meaning thousands of people potentially will have seen that in close-up, high definition. The saving grace is they couldn't remember his name. So, although this is a spin out and it didn't quite come off as he'd hoped, I'm proud that Oscar's gone for this. It shows that he's been positive. He's trying to find more pace on the track in the wet, and he's trying to make up positions. He spent the entire season 4 or 5 rounds in the wet, hanging it around the outside, following the traditional wet line, which is great. And it's made him, plenty of positions with other people spinning off the track. But still, his actual track pace has been down in the bottom sort of 25%. So to quicken up that pace and get closer to the championship leaders, I don't want to say Benjamin Hamilton, because obviously Oscar's nowhere near that level yet, but to get closer to that sort of form, that sort of level that he's at, Oscar does need to be more aggressive, and working his way through the grid. So yeah, really proud that he's gone for this, and I think that next season in the wet we're going to see some big improvements.
Not a complete disaster for Jamie Crampton. Still has a good chance in this race. It's Ella Rowe. Oh, I'm getting worried about drivers using that almost little berm on driver's right-hand side through the horseshoe. Someone is going to spin off of that in the A finals, I fear, later on today. But end of the first lap then, Ella Rowe leads this one from Lewis Tracy. Lewis Tracy looked a bit out of sorts in the pre-B final, but Lewis knows still has a chance of a top 5 in the championship and potentially a run through to Genk on one of those tickets available in the juniors. Lewis Tracy cannot let the season end here in this B final.
Absolutely not. And what a great run, by the way, for Ella Rowe to actually avoid the spinning cart at Gasworks on that previous lap. It was pretty close quarters, but she managed to keep the nose clean.
8 minutes and 45 of this one to go. Enjoying the coverage. Do make sure that you click that like button. I want more. I know.
Sod's bloody law that the yellow lights have come on just round here as Oscar's about to make this position. Look at that. How typical.
Meanwhile, good scrap going on here for third place. This is William Harvey, Jamie Crampton, James Wall, all involved, running towards Gasworks now. Lewis Tracy's being given a bit of breathing room here in second place. That's down the inside there goes Crampton, back up to P3. James Wall is going to be on the outside there. That's going to get tight on the approach to the horseshoe, but they made it work.
Yep, just managed to cling on there, but in their battling they are allowing those two front runners to absolutely break away here. Here we see Crampton has the inside for the final corner. The inside line is beginning to open up as more of an opportunity now on this circuit. It's not quite so cut and dry as to what line you want to take at this point with how the track is currently developing. William Harvey's on the scene as well. This is the 3-car battle for P3, as I say, the top two breaking away. Ella Rowe nicely in control of things at the moment. Tracy had a go before, nothing you can do just yet. We'll have to recoup and have another crack later on into the race. But Jamie Crampton has all the work to do, has clearly got some frustration there. James Wall and William Harvey don't find a way past. We are pretty much 3 wide. Down the inside is going to go Harvey potentially, but no, Harvey's too occupied with Wall, and Crampton is safe for a couple more corners.
It's looking. Oh, I thought that James Wall was going to become our latest driver to go into the pit of despair off of Senna 1. Just that dip down towards the tyre barrier, but he just saved it. William Harvey back down the inside for 4th place. Jonah Young's going to be on the scene pretty quickly as well in the 105. Contact warning for the number 31 of James Wall. Have you been enjoying the coverage today? No, I would say this every weekend, but it's another busy weekend in motorsport. There's been plenty to watch on Alpha Live across the course of today and yesterday. And so the Burkett 6-hour relay.
Oh, fantastic.
At Silverstone
I
yesterday.
forgot about that.
And some more coverage of the Fun Cup Endurance Championship at Alton Park. A good hello to our Fun Cup resident expert in the Club 100 and BUKC commentary court.
Yes.
Mr. Man that is John Ratcliffe. 6 minutes of this race to go. Ella Rowe doing a grand job at the moment. 1:35.915 from Ella last time around. Oh, that was a close moment for William Harvey trying to hold on to this 4th place. There is Jonah Young in the bright blue helmets. Kart 105 trying to move up from 6th place.
Here we go then. If we get 200 likes on this stream,
Where's this going?
I will do the Bookmore Paddock Show in a shirt and shorts, no matter the weather.
Do it.
And I'll find some ridiculous sunglasses as well.
Oh, well, that's
200
a challenge.
likes.
That's a challenge, ladies and gentlemen. You've got, what, an hour or so to make that happen. 3 wide off of Senna 1. This is all around 8th, 9th, 10th place. Kai Timmins, Amy Gualtieri in there. The number 99 of James McLaughlin coming through the order. Ollie Ward, bright yellow suit. Not missing that one on the day like today. Ollie Ward had a bit of a moment there through the chicane, but recovers well off of the corner. That's a nice overtake. Max Poole, number 23, is to have won out in this battle, so that should be, I think, Poole up to at least 9th, if not 8th place.
Yeah, Ella Rowe's controlling things very nicely at the front at the moment. I was about to say he's maintained the fastest lap for a long time. Jamie Crampton just snatches that away, 1:35.0, as you say, Andrew. Times not looking like they're going to improve at all past this. I mean, the carts, the engines, we really enjoying the cold temperatures that we've got.
JV's fuel bill will be enjoying the conditions as also. Just to know, I was just having a look at some. Who are we seeing potentially getting a best result of the season so far? This has been a big step forward for Max Poole, I believe. I think I'm right in saying Max has only done 1 round so far this season, and that was at PF International. This has been a much stronger performance for Max, and is on for a best result of the season so far. Meanwhile, scrap still going on for 5th place here. James Wall gets down the inside of Jonah Young, uses the track really nicely there. Does James? Goes back through past Jonah Young and into the top 5. The moment for James, it's not quite going to be the best result for James this season. He has had A final appearances previously in this championship. Still, you want to finish on a high. It's the moment. Wall winning out in this close battle. Through Gasworks then, 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Ella Rowe's lead still around about 1.5 seconds, but continuing to lap quicker and quicker. Okay, Ella's not got the fastest lap of the race anymore, but it's not slipping backwards into the clutches of those behind her. Although, as I say that, Lewis Tracy has just done the fastest lap of the race, so maybe it's not quite done yet. 2 minutes and 45 remaining. Here we are with the race leaders. Ella Rowe last time around 1:35.124. Lewis Tracy 1:34.781. It is still that thing though, top 2 positions go through. Actually, Ella Rowe needs to be concentrating on what is the pace like versus Jamie Crampton. A 1:34.8 last time around for Jamie Crampton. So still a little bit in the balance here. Top 4 covered by just over 3 seconds.
It absolutely is. Some very close running for our top 4, some of the closer running that we've actually seen overall, given the conditions that we've been enjoying today. Look over the shoulder for Ella Rowe. She's aware that Lewis Tracy hunting her down as we run through the chicane. We look backwards to the number 53 car there heading through. That is going to be Clara Boyce actually running through into lap 1. Into turn 1. I think we get an idea of just how dark the circuit is beginning to get at some point. Obviously we are floodlit, so we're good and safe to continue on, but sun disappearing now, as now we head into a bit of a night racing stint, if you will.
Yeah, I do like these conditions at the end of a season. Can really produce a lot of spice here in the Club 100 Cadets and Junior Championships. Change further down the order. Oh, I knew I should. Sorry, Max. Max Paul has just dropped down to 15th place.
Here we go.
And out to the top 10 then. James McLaughlin goes through. Caden Graham up into the top 10 now as well. This is on the last lap. Ella Rowe just lost half a second there of her lead. Lewis Tracy. Again, how much risk do you play here? Because Lewis is still looking at a good position in the final championship standings, but only if he gets through to the A final.
Yeah.
For me, if you're Lewis Tracy, you bring this one home and just make sure that you're in that top 2. Don't necessarily dive.
Absolutely, though. I wonder if Lewis Tracy potentially thinking, I better watch out for Jamie Crampton here.
Well, very good point.
If Ella Rowe is maybe losing a couple of tenths here or there at this phase of the race, Jamie Crampton could say, thank you very much, I fancy another go out in the A finals later on. 28 seconds left on the clock, then we're heading into sector 3 now. As you say, the sparks beginning to rise as we use those curbs. Ella Rowe looks over the shoulder. That gap still looking pretty comfortable, hasn't really shrunken down anymore, just gasworks to negotiate and then a couple more after that. Ella Rowe makes it through the right-handed hairpin there, no major challenges, and looks to be controlling things very well indeed. From second on the grid, her rival Lewis Tracy third on the grid, just behind the man on pole. The top 3 then still features the same 3 carters. The only difference is this time around, heading on to the start-finish straight, it's going to be Ella Rowe who takes race victory in our Junior Super Lightweight B final. Congratulations, Ella, just ahead there of Lewis Tracy. A remarkable effort to hunt Ella down, wasn't enough in the end. Less than half a second separating it though. Then we have Jamie Crampton rounding out your podium. William Harvey completing the 4th position, and then we have James Wall completing your top 5. That's followed by Jonah Young, Dan Griffin, Caden Graham, Kai Timmins, and then James McLaughlin, your top 10.
Solid results for all of those drivers. Some of them, that is the end of their season. Do hope we see them all back in 2026. Ollie Ward over the line, P11. Emi Gualtieri there in 12th. Chris Yakimov, Paige Martin and Max Poole all in the top 15 to finish things here. Mason Watson, decent race there for Mason, up 4 spots to P16. Jalen Wilkinson as well. Oh, just lost out in the fight for 17th right at the end with Noah Morris and Oscar Mallet. So 19th place at the end for Wilkinson, but it's still an improvement of 6. Chris Clark.
That was a good solid fight back there from Oscar, something I'm quite used to seeing from him. He always seems to bring out his best when it's difficult circumstances out on the track. So dropping to the back of the pack on the first lap, it was never going to be an easy race for him, but he got his head down, he pushed forwards. His pace was faster than everybody that finished behind him on the score sheet. It was faster than a few racers that still finished ahead of him. Had he not spun out, I think we would have been looking at around about a P12, P13 finish. And this brings to an end our Club 100 2025 season. It's not as high as we'd like to have finished, but it's been a hell of an experience. It's been a positive one. Oscar's definitely grown from this. As we've said all throughout the series, our goal for this season was simply just to learn, to get experience, and to see if we can improve on our own performances. We've not thought that we can potentially go out there and fight for a podium finish, etc. But for the 2026 season, that's the goal. I think this season, with it just being A finals that we'd set as our goal, I think we need to raise the bar a bit next season. We've just missed out on A finals this season, but next time I think that we should not just set A finals as the goal. I think that should be a minimum requirement, that in at least a couple of the rounds he makes the A finals. But I think if he's going to be in the B finals, we need to be targeting them top 3 positions. So that's going to be the goal for 2026, B finals to finish top 3 or to make the A finals. So moving on to next season, we've secured the Southern Championships, all 8 rounds, the test days, etc. It's all paid for and booked in now. And we've also got ourselves on the reserves list for the Northern. We wasn't able to secure the Northern, unfortunately, because we wasn't priority on the list. But we believe we might get a couple of the rounds in. However many we get, we'll be there, we'll keep pushing. And it'd be nice to race on these same tracks again that we've now got experience on. I think anything less than an A final appearance for Oscar would be a complete failure. So looking forward to 2026. Bring it on.
Let's get that, it's really tight. Yeah, it's really tight to get on, but... Apparently you moved up 3 positions and finished 18. I don't understand that. You moved up 3 and finished 18. Makes no sense on the app. I'll have a look in a minute when it's all figured itself out. What happened was that? Contact, or you just spin on your own?
I went on my own.
You spun on your own? So you've saved your first ever spin for the last race of the season in the final. No worries. At least you pushed it, mate. You're getting the right lines there at the inside. Want to get up the top now and watch these, because what's his name's going to be in there, Mike's on Alex Rattan. Want to see how he does. So get yourself weighed in, drop that in the car, and then run up at the top. There they go. Look, they're just starting. Look at Messi. We'll be over by the first lap.
Okay, so it's our junior lightweight A final now. Junior lightweight A final. Get yourselves down on this grid, please, guys. Start.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. About to catch another fight. Yeah. The apple bottom make 'em wanna bite. Yeah. I just wanna have a good night. I just wanna have a good night. Hold up, if you don't know, now you know. If you broke,
put your hands up, feel the beat up. DJ Janelle Segano Remix.
Shake my show my thong, do my thing. Ain't nothing wrong, ain't nothing wrong. Go girl.
I could end the video here, but I just want to add a few words. Firstly, a massive thank you to everybody who has followed and supported us. Not just this year, but through Oscar's first year, of course. And that specifically goes to Nan and Grandad. You've been absolutely amazing for Oscar, backed him all the way, came to multiple team sport sessions, and you've enjoyed the journey with us. So that's the most important thing, you know, that family's there, that we're enjoying doing these things together. But also other people in the background, you each know who you are. We've got some amazing new friends that we've met on this journey, and it wouldn't have been the same without you all, and it's been a massive part of Oscar's growth and development, just having the people there in the background to support and encourage us. So this isn't just the curtain going down on Club 100 for the 2025 season, this is the curtain going down on essentially all competitive karting of the 2025 season, almost. We do have a fantastic looking members event coming up next Tuesday, which is at Team Sport Liverpool. We're going to be racing with some well-known names, some big players in the industry. So we're really looking forward to that, and that should be a nice sort of way of signing off before Christmas. We're heading into 2026. I think I've already mentioned it in the video, but I have been editing this video for 2 weeks, so I can't remember exactly what I said near the beginning. However, we're heading into the Southern Championships, as mentioned, so that's something that we're super excited for. And as I said, we're hoping to get plenty of opportunities to race in the Northern Championships as well. So once again, thank you to everybody who likes, follows and supports us. If you want to see more, click like and subscribe on our channel. We're also operating over on Facebook and also on TikTok, both sites under Oscar Mallet Racing. So until next year, have a fantastic Christmas. We'll see you on the other side.